How to outsmart any woman playing games with your heart. Old Stoic wisdom. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Zrenia Confuci. Have you ever been left wondering why she suddenly vanished without a word? One moment, everything seemed perfect, and the next, she disappears, ghosted, leaving you bewildered and questioning what went wrong. Or maybe she's unpredictable, one day showering you with attention, the next completely silent. That push and pull, it's enough to drive any man crazy. Let me be clear. Women often engage in these emotional games, not to harm you personally, but as a way to test your strength. If you fail to recognize the patterns, you'll find yourself trapped in a cycle of confusion, frustration, and heartbreak. Here's the truth. It's not your fault these games exist, but it is your responsibility to rise above them. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 unshakable strategies grounded in timeless Stoic wisdom. These aren't tricks or manipulations. They're tools for mastering yourself. By cultivating inner calm and resilience, you'll become the steady presence that no emotional game can destabilize. You'll transform into the man who stands firm amid chaos, the man who can't be controlled or played. Before we jump in, let's understand why these games happen in the first place. Why ghosting? Why hot and cold behavior? Why emotional breadcrumbs? Simply put, these are tests. Tests to see if you can be swayed, controlled, or made to doubt your own worth. When you fall for them, respect fades, and you end up chasing shadows, desperate for approval. But here's the good news. You don't have to be a player on her emotional field. By embracing Stoicism, you become the master of your emotions. Calm, composed, and confident, no matter what games she throws your way. This isn't just about relationships. It's about reclaiming control of your life, standing tall as a man who knows his value, refuses to be manipulated, and leads with unwavering strength. If you're done with the games, done feeling powerless, and ready to take back your emotional power, stay with me. These 10 Stoic strategies will change everything. Number 1. Detach emotionally. This principle stands as the bedrock of all other strategies in outsmarting any woman who may be playing games with your heart, drawing heavily from the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, which teaches us mastery over our own inner world. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about the person or the relationship. Instead, it means you no longer allow your emotions to dictate your reactions or control your behavior. Far too often, men fall into the trap of panic and desperation when a woman pulls away or suddenly becomes distant, spiraling into anxious overthinking, obsessively analyzing every word or silence, and desperately trying to fix a situation that in reality may not need fixing. But here's the hard truth that many men overlook. Women often test you, not to manipulate, but to gauge your emotional strength and stability. They want to see if you crumble under pressure, if you become desperate, or if you maintain your composure. When you chase after her with desperation, you fail this test, signaling insecurity and emotional volatility. Instead, you must cultivate a state of emotional detachment, where your internal equilibrium remains steady regardless of external fluctuations. Whether she's texting you nonstop or vanishing for days without explanation, your emotional state must remain unchanged, calm, centered, and unshaken. This ability to remain composed amidst uncertainty and emotional push and pull is a profound sign of strength, and strength, as any wise man knows, is magnetic. Women are instinctively drawn to men who embody this quiet confidence because it signals reliability, security, and self-mastery, all traits that create genuine attraction. The ancient Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote encapsulates the essence of emotional detachment. Your power lies not in controlling others, but in controlling yourself. In real life, practicing emotional detachment means understanding that your value and happiness don't hinge on someone else's actions or approval. It means refusing to let your mood swing with the unpredictable tides of another's attention and affection. Instead of chasing validation, focus on being the calm, steady presence in your own life. This mindset will not only make you more attractive, but also free you from needless stress and heartache. Think about the times you've reacted emotionally. Did it bring you closer to the outcome you wanted, or did it push you further away? Imagine how different those moments would have been if you had maintained your composure like a stoic mountain standing firm against the storm. This approach works beyond just romantic relationships. It's a life skill that builds resilience, self-respect, and peace of mind in all interactions. Number 2, focus on long-term goals. Too many men lose their way in relationships because they get trapped in the cycle of immediate gratification, seeking the quick high of her attention, the fleeting rush of validation from her affection, or the instant fix of resolving every little argument. But the wisdom of Stoicism reminds us to look beyond the moment and play the long game. When you anchor yourself in your broader vision, whether it's building a successful career, improving your fitness, or committing to personal growth, you naturally distance yourself from the day-to-day emotional roller coaster that often comes with relationship drama. Imagine you're constructing a house or nurturing a garden. You don't get caught up obsessing over every leaf or brick that's out of place. Instead, you focus on the blueprint, the foundation, and the steady work that ensures long-term success. This perspective means you won't waste energy reacting emotionally to every text she doesn't send or every plan she cancels. You have bigger, more meaningful pursuits demanding your attention. This mindset shift accomplishes 2 vital things. First, it makes you less reactive, emotionally steady because your self-worth isn't hinging on the flicker of a woman's approval or her current mood. When you're rooted in your goals, you aren't putting all your emotional eggs in one basket, her attention. Second, this very stability is magnetic. It makes you more attractive because nothing catches a woman's eye, quite like a man on a mission. A man who knows where he's going, who values himself beyond the confines of a relationship, naturally commands respect and desire. Consider a scenario where you've been dating a woman for a few weeks. Things seem good, but suddenly she pulls back, texts less, cancels plans, or acts distant. The typical reaction for many men is panic, overthinking, chasing harder, and becoming too available, essentially inviting the very games they want to avoid. But the man focused on his long-term goals stays composed. He understands that his identity and happiness don't depend on her immediate responses or fleeting attention. Instead, he's busy building his life, his empire, his health, his personal mastery, and if she wants to be part of that journey, that's a bonus. If not, he respects his own path enough not to lose sleep or waste energy on trying to force things. This approach breeds emotional independence, where your confidence and sense of self come from your progress, your achievements, and the growth you see in yourself every day, not from external validation. And here's the profound twist. When she observes that you're not chasing her or caught in petty drama, it actually increases your appeal. You become the man who's different, the one who isn't anxiously waiting by the phone or trying to decode every text message. Instead, you're the man too engaged in building his life to be distracted by small, meaningless games. This kind of self-possession and clarity is the kind of strength that not only helps you outsmart any emotional manipulation, but also attracts genuine, meaningful connections. In modern life, where instant gratification and social media create constant noise and pressure to respond immediately, holding on to this stoic principle is more valuable than ever. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation through quick likes or texts, but true fulfillment comes from having a life worth living independently of anyone else's approval. So, focus on your big picture, your goals, your ambitions, your self-improvement. When you do, relationships stop being battlegrounds for emotional games and become opportunities to share your success and growth with someone who truly matches your energy. This long-term focus is the key to maintaining your dignity, your peace of mind, and ultimately becoming the man who is not only emotionally unshakable, but irresistibly attractive. Stop chasing momentary approval and start building a life that commands respect. Focus on your long-term goals, your career, your growth, your health, and watch how your emotional strength makes you unshakable and magnetic. If you're ready to break free from the games and become the man who holds his own power, drop this in the comments now. My worth is built on my vision, not her attention. Number 3. Prioritize your own well-being. At the core of every meaningful and fulfilling life lies one undeniable truth that too many men overlook. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. This truth becomes especially vital when you're entangled in the complicated webs of emotional manipulation and uncertainty that some women play, whether intentionally or not. When you're caught up in these games, it's easy to lose sight of who you are, and even easier to sacrifice your mental peace and self-respect for the sake of trying to decode mixed signals or placate someone else's mood swings. But here's the crucial lesson. No relationship, no matter how tempting or promising, is worth the cost of your own well-being. If you find yourself feeling anxious, stressed, or like you're constantly tiptoeing around someone's unpredictable behavior, it's time to pause and reflect deeply on what you are letting into your life. You owe it to yourself to maintain your mental health, emotional stability, and overall peace, because the moment you put someone else's needs ahead of your own sanity, you've already lost the game of self-preservation. This is not an invitation to selfishness or to ignore others' feelings. Rather, it's about striking a healthy balance. When you make your well-being a priority, you don't diminish your worth, you enhance it. There's something undeniably magnetic about a man who stands firm in his value, who knows his boundaries, and refuses to be shaken or destabilized by external chaos. This principle extends beyond romantic relationships into all corners of your life. Your career, friendships, and family connections all benefit when you operate from a place of strength and clarity, not from depletion and emotional turmoil. Consider the example of a woman who sends mixed signals. One moment she's warm and affectionate, the next distant and cold, leaving you questioning yourself and your worth. The natural reaction might be to adjust your behavior, trying harder to accommodate her unpredictability. But this only erodes your self-esteem. Instead, ask yourself honestly, how is this relationship affecting my mental health? If the answer is negative, it's a signal that you need to pull back, conserve your energy, and redirect your focus toward activities and people who uplift you. Whether that means hitting the gym to boost your confidence, dedicating time to your passions and projects, or surrounding yourself with friends who genuinely support you, protecting your peace isn't just advisable, it's essential. Here's the paradox. The moment you stop placing her above your own well-being and start putting yourself first, two outcomes are guaranteed. Either she'll recognize your newfound strength and respect you more, or she'll walk away because her ability to control you has been broken. Either way, you come out ahead. You either free yourself from someone who doesn't respect you, or you gain the upper hand in the relationship by demonstrating that your peace is non-negotiable. This is the kind of strength that ancient Stoics understood intuitively. The power lies not in changing others, but in mastering your own mind and priorities. In today's dating landscape, men are often told to cater endlessly to women's emotions and needs, sometimes at the expense of their own mental and emotional health. This is a misguided notion. Prioritizing your health, mental, emotional, and physical, is not only attractive, but vital for thriving in modern relationships. It signals maturity, confidence, and self-respect, qualities that no woman who plays games can easily dismiss or manipulate. So next time you find yourself unsettled by someone's erratic behavior, ask yourself with brutal honesty, is sacrificing my peace and well-being worth it? If the answer is no, recalibrate immediately. Reclaim your power by recommitting to what truly matters, yourself. This isn't just old Stoic wisdom, it's a modern survival strategy in a world where emotional games abound and mental resilience is your best defense. When you prioritize yourself, you don't just protect your heart, You become the kind of man who commands respect, attracts genuine relationships, and ultimately lives a life defined by peace and purpose. Number 4. Stay calm under pressure. Stay calm under pressure because when it comes to mind games, nothing holds more power than mastering your composure. Women often test men by playing subtle, psychological games designed to provoke an emotional reaction, mentioning their ex, flirting with others, or dropping passive-aggressive comments to see if they can make you lose your cool. It's a classic tactic, and many men fall right into the trap, responding with jealousy, anger, or defensiveness. But you're different. You handle these provocations like a Stoic, embodying the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When she pushes your buttons, you stay calm, composed, and completely unbothered. This serene reaction disarms her because she expects the usual emotional outburst. Your calmness is a silent but powerful message. You cannot be controlled or rattled by her attempts to manipulate your feelings. Imagine a common scenario. She casually brings up her ex during a conversation, dropping lines like, "My ex used to take me to this amazing restaurant," or "I had so much fun with him last summer," clearly aiming to spark jealousy or insecurity. While most men would snap back with defensiveness or irritation, you respond with a cool, "That's cool. Sounds like he was a great guy." No anger, no jealousy, just calm acknowledgement. By refusing to react in the way she expects, you become unpredictable, which is an unsettling yet captivating position of strength. This approach mirrors the old Stoic principle: don't let others' actions dictate your emotional state, because true power lies in self-control. Consider another situation where she flirts with another man right in front of you, maybe in a group setting. The usual response is to get angry, try to compete, or lash out, actions driven by fear and insecurity. But as a Stoic, you observe quietly without engaging, your calmness radiating confidence. Even if it stings internally, you don't show it. Instead, you let her see that you're unthreatened, which can shift the entire dynamic. Your refusal to enter a competition for attention sends a subtle but powerful signal that your worth isn't tied to her approval or actions. This echoes the wisdom of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your emotional detachment isn't coldness, it's strength that keeps you in control. In real life, this means not letting your emotions dictate your responses to provocations, whether they come from a partner, co-workers, or anyone else. Staying calm under pressure is a rare quality that naturally draws respect and admiration, making you stand out in a world often driven by impulsive reactions. The men who master this are not only more attractive, but also more resilient in relationships and life challenges alike. So remember, when you refuse to be baited, you reclaim your power and show that you're the master of your own emotional kingdom. This kind of emotional intelligence is the cornerstone of not just Stoic philosophy, but effective, lasting relationships. If you've absorbed this wisdom, you're already breaking free from the usual traps of emotional chaos. Most men get caught reacting, losing control and giving away their power, but you've learned to stay calm, composed, and unshakable under pressure, just like the Stoics taught. Now take action. Own your emotional power and refuse to be baited. Comment below with this sentence to claim your strength. I am the master of my mind and remain calm no matter the game. Let's see who's ready to rise above the chaos and lead with true Stoic strength. Number 5. Recognize behavioral patterns. Women, like all humans, develop habits and routines, and once you start paying close attention, these patterns reveal themselves clearly, often in ways you hadn't noticed before. This is crucial because understanding these patterns uncovers intent, and when you can predict someone's moves, the game they're playing loses its power over you. Take, for example, the classic hot and cold behavior. One day she's texting you non-stop, showering you with praise and hints about future plans, and the next day she's suddenly distant, busy or silent, leaving you confused and frustrated. This push-pull dynamic is a common tactic used to test your emotional control and to see if you'll chase her attention. Falling into the trap of bombarding her with messages like, "Is everything okay? Did I do something wrong?" only plays into her hands, reinforcing the cycle. The key to outsmarting this pattern is to stay calm, composed, and above all, emotionally steady. Instead of reacting impulsively, let her actions speak while you maintain your own sense of self-worth and confidence. By refusing to chase or panic, you reverse the roles. She ends up wondering why you didn't fall for her game, often becoming the one who pursues you. It's important to remember, this behavior isn't always a deliberate ploy. Sometimes it's subconscious, a test of your confidence that she may not even realize she's administering. Regardless of intention, your response should remain the same: steady, grounded, and unshakable. Another common pattern to watch for is breadcrumbing, where she offers just enough attention to keep you interested, but never commits fully. This might look like flirty texts that keep your hopes up, or vague promises to hang out sometime, but when the moment to make real plans arrives, she disappears or cancels. This technique keeps you emotionally invested and hopeful, all while she avoids any real responsibility or commitment. The danger here is that you might waste precious time and energy chasing something that will never materialize into a meaningful connection. The best way to handle breadcrumbing is to confront it directly but calmly, without anger or desperation. A simple, straightforward statement like, "I'm not here for half-hearted attention. If you're not interested in spending time together, that's fine, but I'm not going to wait around," sends a clear message. You're not pleading or demanding. You're establishing boundaries and asserting your value. This not only protects your time and emotions, but also sets a tone of respect and self-worth that can either encourage genuine interest or quickly filter out those who aren't serious. In modern life, where digital communication often blurs intentions and creates ambiguity, recognizing these patterns and responding with emotional intelligence and clarity is more important than ever. It's about reclaiming your power and refusing to be manipulated by games that prey on uncertainty or insecurity. By tuning into these behavioral patterns and responding with calm, measured confidence, you not only protect yourself from emotional turmoil, but also position yourself as someone who knows their worth and won't be easily played. In a world where dating can feel like a battlefield of mixed signals and emotional games, this old Stoic wisdom, paying attention, understanding intent, and maintaining emotional discipline remains your strongest weapon. Remember, the goal isn't to outsmart someone out of spite, but to navigate relationships with clear eyes and steady heart, so you attract the respect and commitment you deserve while keeping your dignity intact. Number 6. Avoid emotional retaliation. This is where most men lose the game before it even begins. Reacting emotionally to a woman's manipulative moves is the single biggest mistake you can make. She pulls a stunt to hurt you or ignite jealousy, and your first instinct is to hit back, to mirror her behavior, to get even. She flirts with another man. You flirt with someone else to make her jealous? She ghosts you? You play hard to get in return, hoping to bait her chase. Let me be brutally clear, this never works. The moment you let emotions dictate your actions, you surrender control. You hand the steering wheel to her. You become a puppet reacting to her strings, instead of the master directing your own life. A stoic man, a man who commands respect and strength, never retaliates emotionally. Why? Because emotional reactions are weakness disguised as power. They reveal vulnerability, desperation, and uncertainty, the exact signals you must never send. Instead, you respond with unshakable calm, cold indifference. If she ghosts, you do not chase or retaliate. You simply withdraw your attention and focus on your growth, your mission, your goals. If she tries to make you jealous, you refuse to bite the bait, staying unfazed and rooted in your purpose. Picture this. You're at a party. A woman you've been seeing openly flirts with another man right in front of you. Most guys will explode. Anger, confrontation, or desperate flirtations aimed at making her jealous. All of these are born from insecurity, weakness disguised as action. You do the opposite. You remain composed. You don't engage. You don't give her the reaction she craves. And this drives her wild, not because you're angry, but because you have taken her power away. You have made it clear. You are not a man to be manipulated. You hold the reins. This is where the real power lies. When you refuse to retaliate emotionally, you don't just survive the game, you crush it. The game loses all meaning. Its power evaporates. She either stops playing or realizes you're no ordinary player. You're the one who controls the board. Either way, you win. Remember Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In modern life, where emotional manipulation is common and social media amplifies jealousy games, mastering this stoic indifference is your greatest weapon. Don't fall into the trap of emotional reaction, stay above it. Command your emotions, command your life, master yourself, and no one can master you. If you want to be the man who doesn't just survive heartbreak, but dominates it, who turns manipulation into fuel for growth, then stop reacting and start leading. Like this message if you're ready to own your power. Comment below with the word unshakable if you refuse to be anyone's emotional puppet. Subscribe now for more hard-earned wisdom that turns men into legends. This is your moment. Take control or be controlled. Number 7. Communicate clearly and firmly. Communication is not just a tool, but the very foundation of any healthy and lasting relationship. Yet many men falter here, either avoiding difficult conversations altogether or allowing their emotions to take over, which inevitably leads to misunderstandings, heated arguments, and unnecessary drama. A Stoic man, grounded in ancient wisdom, understands that true strength lies in speaking with calm clarity and firm resolve, never letting his feelings spiral into chaos or desperation. When confronted with a woman who seems to be playing games, those subtle, confusing behaviours that can shake your confidence and make you question yourself, the response should never be to yell, accuse, or react impulsively. Instead, the Stoic man communicates his observations and expectations with quiet authority and composure, inviting honest dialogue without blame or pressure. For example, if she has been acting distant, inconsistent, or emotionally unavailable, rather than exploding with anger or suppressing your feelings until resentment builds, you calmly say, "I've noticed you've been acting differently lately. I'm not sure what's happening, but if there's something we need to talk about, I'm open to hearing it." Notice the power in this approach. No accusations, no raised voices, no demands, just a clear, respectful invitation to communicate. This not only disarms potential conflict, but also signals that you are secure, grounded, and not desperate for validation. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By maintaining your composure and addressing the issue head-on, you take control of the situation instead of letting confusion or manipulation dictate your feelings. This kind of communication sets a tone of respect and honesty that cuts through the games and mind traps, fostering a relationship where both partners feel safe to express their true selves. It says, "I am not afraid to face difficult truths, and I will not allow uncertainty or disrespect to undermine what we have." In everyday life, this might mean practicing restraint when emotions run high and choosing your words carefully, avoiding the temptation to respond with anger or passive aggression. It also means understanding that your calm and firm communication invites maturity and growth, not defensiveness or withdrawal. The great philosopher Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." And in this context, bravery means freedom from emotional manipulation and confusion by standing firm in your truth. By mastering this skill, you protect your heart from being toyed with and elevate your relationships to a level of genuine connection and mutual respect. Remember, it is not about controlling the other person, but about controlling your response and setting clear boundaries that guide the relationship's course. So take this to heart and start practicing today. Observe, communicate calmly, set your boundaries firmly, and let honesty and respect be your compass. I'm curious, how have you handled situations where communication could have prevented heartache? Share your stories and advice in the comments below so we can all grow stronger together in navigating the complex dance of love and respect. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Number 8. Set boundaries early. This isn't just some vague advice. It's a commandment for any man who refuses to be played, disrespected, or discarded like yesterday's news. Listen carefully. Failing to set boundaries from the start broadcasts a clear message. You're a doormat, an open field for emotional manipulation, a target for heart games. Most men fear boundaries. They think they'll scare her away, that they'll lose her affection. Wrong. Women don't just want boundaries. They need them. Why? Because boundaries shout loud and clear that you respect yourself, and a man who commands his own respect demands respect from everyone else. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Setting boundaries is power. It's strength. It's mastery over your emotional kingdom. But here's the key. Boundaries aren't rules to control her. They're a declaration of what you need to thrive, what you won't tolerate. If she cancels last minute repeatedly, don't let it slide. Don't shrug it off. State it plainly. I've noticed you cancel plans a lot. I value consistency. If you're not serious about making time, that's your choice. But I'm not here for this back and forth. You're not attacking her. You're not whining. You're a man making clear what respect looks like in your world. This clarity forces a choice. She respects your line or she doesn't, and either way, you win. Why? Because you protect your emotional energy, the most valuable currency you have. Now, let me paint a real-world picture. Imagine she flirts with other men right in front of you. Most guys lose it. Jealousy consumes them. Anger explodes. Or worse, they stew silently, losing power every second. Not you. You stand tall, calm, collected. Later you pull her aside and say, "I'm not here for games. If you want to chase other men, that's your business. But I won't stay for the drama. No emotion, no begging, no threats, just a clear boundary. If she crosses it, you walk away. Because a man who knows his worth does not tolerate disrespect. He commands it. He owns it. The modern world is flooded with mixed signals, emotional ambushes, and mind games disguised as affection. You cannot afford to be passive. You must act like the general of your own life. Take control. Set boundaries so firm they echo in every room you enter. The world respects a man who respects himself. Aristotle said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." Know your limits. Protect your heart like a fortress. When you do, you take the game out of her hands and put it squarely in yours. If you want more of this raw, unfiltered wisdom to dominate your relationships and your life, hit like, subscribe, and comment below with this: "I'm ready to lead my life on my terms." Because the only way to outsmart any woman playing games with your heart is to never let the game start. Control the board, set the rules, win the game. Number 9. Practice patience. Let me tell you something that most guys don't want to hear. Patience is the most powerful tool in your arsenal when it comes to handling women who play games. I get it. You want results now. You want clarity now. You want to know where you stand right this second. But here's the thing. Women often test your patience to see if you can handle the uncertainty. In a world where everyone is glued to their phones, waiting for that instant reply, the man who practices patience stands out. He's rare. He's valuable. He's the one who doesn't crack under pressure. If she doesn't text you back within 5 minutes, you don't freak out. If she cancels plans last minute, you don't lose your temper. You let things unfold naturally and you stay composed. Women will test your patience. Period. They'll take hours to respond to a text. They'll go silent for days just to see if you'll panic, can chase them. And guess what? Most guys fall for it. They start double texting, asking if something is wrong, and trying to fix the situation. But you're different. You practice patience like a master. The next time she pulls one of these moves, instead of reacting, do nothing. That's right, nothing. Let her come to you. Give her the time and space to reach out when she's ready. Trust me, she will notice that you didn't fall for her game. She'll start wondering why you're not chasing her. And that, my friend, is when the power shifts in your favor. Why is patience so powerful? Because it shows that you're not desperate for her validation. It shows that you're not emotionally fragile. It shows that you have your own life, your own priorities, and that you're not going to drop everything just because she decided to pull back. This makes you a challenge, and women love challenges. Patience is not just about waiting for her to text back or commit. It's about delaying gratification in all aspects of your life. When you learn to practice patience, you stop chasing after things that don't serve you in the long run. You stop reacting emotionally to every little thing. You stop getting caught up in the roller coaster of emotions that so many men fall victim to. A Stoic man knows that good things take time. He's not in a rush, he's not desperate, he's playing the long game, and the long game always wins. While other men are scrambling for attention and immediate validation, you're sitting back, letting things unfold, and staying focused on your goals. Remember, patience doesn't mean doing nothing forever. It means waiting for the right moment to act, whether it's in your relationship, your career, or your personal growth. Patience allows you to make calculated, strategic moves that pay off in the long run. It's not about instant gratification. It's about lasting success. Master patience and watch the game change. Don't rush, don't chase. Stand firm, stay calm, and let your strength speak louder than words. Real power is in waiting with confidence, not desperation. If you're ready to hold your ground and play the long game, drop this in the comments right now. I am the man who masters patience and commands respect. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remember, true power is silent, steady, and unstoppable. Number 10. Choose when to walk away. This is no mere suggestion. It is the ultimate commandment of mastery over your own life and emotions, the defining mark of a man who refuses to be anyone's fool. There is a powerful saying, the most powerful position is to be able to walk away and mean it. Let that sink deep into your bones. If you take nothing else from this message, take this. Knowing exactly when to walk away is the ultimate power move. It is the nuclear option, the secret weapon of men who control their fate while others remain trapped in emotional chains. Most men are too scared to play this card because it demands courage, clarity, and a ruthless respect for one's own worth. But when you do play it, the game changes instantly. The scales tip. The upper hand is yours. Let me make this crystal clear. No woman, no matter how captivating, is worth your time or energy if she treats you like a disposable option, if she plays mind games, if she disrespects your time or strings you along. You must be prepared to walk away, not in childish anger or drama, but with unshakable calm, with quiet and commanding confidence that speaks volumes. When you walk away, you're telling her, without saying a word, that your validation comes from within, that you have options, and that your self-respect is more important than her approval. That alone changes everything. Here's the kicker. Most often, when you walk away with this unwavering self-respect, she will chase you. Why? Because true power is magnetic. Women are instinctively drawn to men who respect themselves, men who refuse to settle for less, who set the bar high and never budge. But don't mistake walking away as a manipulative ploy to bait her into pursuing you. It's not a game. It's a declaration that says, I am not playing anymore. If you want to be in my life, prove it. If not, I'm perfectly fine without you. Imagine this scenario. She flakes on plans, she's texting other men, she's disrespecting your time and your feelings. Your response? Calm, clear, powerful. I'm not interested in this endless back and forth. If you're serious, let me know. If not, I'm moving on. No anger, no desperation, no emotional outbursts, just cold, collected resolve. Then you walk. You don't send follow-up texts. You don't stalk her Instagram. You shift your focus to yourself, your goals, your growth, your peace. And sometimes the hardest truth hits. She won't chase. She won't come back. And that's okay, because by walking away, you have already won. You have preserved your dignity, your self-respect, and your peace of mind, things far more valuable than any fleeting relationship. This power is elusive because most men are shackled by fear, the fear of loss, the fear of loneliness, the fear of not being enough. But the strongest men break those chains. They walk away with unyielding conviction. I am not afraid. I know my worth. I will never settle. That kind of confidence is rare. That kind of strength commands respect. That kind of power changes lives. When you choose to walk away, you are reclaiming control. You are rejecting emotional manipulation and games. You are choosing yourself, your happiness, your future, your peace. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a man who lived by the principles of Stoic wisdom, once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In your journey, the best power move is to rise above the emotional games, to refuse to be manipulated, and to hold your self-respect like a fortress no one can breach. Now, I want you to act. Like this message if you agree that your self-respect is non-negotiable. Comment below with one sentence that declares you own your worth. Subscribe to this channel to master every aspect of emotional power and stoic wisdom in your life. Remember, this isn't just about women or relationships. It's about commanding your own life. Walk away or be walked over. The choice is yours. Choose power. Choose victory. Choose to be the master of your own destiny.